Hello everyone, it's your favorite night owl here, out on this unfortunately sunny and humid day. Back in from taking care of some yard work and realized I had a video to do. Alright, it won't be uploaded this weekend, but this week is going to be booked. Alright, before we get started, this video is completely unsponsored. It's not sponsored by any brand names that may or may not be mentioned or viewed within this video. Alrighty then, let's get on with things, shall we? Oh, feel free to subscribe for more. We have here a quick cooking video, which I had promised in previous videos regarding using, well, beef jerky to cook. A recipe I like going out camping. Well, we're going to be doing it indoors because there's a burn ban in my area temporarily, so I have to contend with that. And I'm not just going to go out there and do it anyway, for safety. Now, I went and grabbed the most affordable thing I could find, and the primary stop in town right now, and specifically the peppered beef jerky option. This is just a great value brand jerky. Fairly nice jerky, at least in my personal opinion. Not the best, but the best is considerably more expensive. You only need about half this 10-ounce bag, so you can get like one of those 5-6 ounce bags for this recipe, and it serves 2. With a full 10-ounce bag, you can easily serve 4 comfortably. You only need half. Cut them up into small pieces. That'd be about this. Absolutely fantastic. Trying to move through this as quickly as possible because it is going to be multiple part, and there's a bunch of exciting channel news. And of course, this is going to be an extended process in heat, so I made sure to grab some peach tea. Alrighty then. Now, one of the essentials you're going to need besides the jerky is, let me go ahead, grab this, is one of these little crock pots, which only have about 6 cups. And you're going to need around 4 or 5 of these cups of water. Let's go ahead and add that into the rest of it. Fantastic. Now the dry goods is right here. Now I notice no seasoning. That's because jerky is very salted, and it's part of the process. And because it's peppered, it's covered in pepper, so thereby you want small pieces. Let me try to get that closer to the camera. Get a piece out right around this size. Well, smaller the better. More of a mince. I was doing this in a bit of a hurry, as I still got more to do. I have animals to put away and such, and my rabbits get rather impatient. Lovely animals, but impatient. Now, the dry ingredients here are very simple, and there is a wet ingredient I add at the end too, and, well, I won't show that until the end because it has to cook for a while before you add in the dry ingredients. At least this is how I do it. You can add them in before things get going or after. It's up to you. But the whole point of this is soaking this jerky, and in the heat, and let it simmer for a long time in that slow cooker. Generally, I do this on a camp wood stove, or I have several sizes of Dutch ovens I like using. Fairly simple, make big batches for a lot of people, and with carrying relatively few things along to do so. And this is especially good if you make your own like hard leavened bread, or you carry like crisp bread. I like Swedish crisp bread, so when Food Lion started carrying it, I was ecstatic. Walmart's now carrying it, and that's, thank you, Sweden. But these are the main ingredients. I'm going to dump these in. It's peppered, so it's pre-seasoned. You don't need to add a lot because of all the salt that's going to be drawn out in the process. Smaller pieces, doesn't take long, and this takes a long time to cook, like 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. We'll be coming back towards the end. Towards the evening when this is done. Let's get that plop that all in there with any seasoning that fell off. Now, dry ingredients is exactly 3 tablespoons, about 1 per cup of water, and flour. Finer the flour, the better. And my personal opinion, I use unbleached cake flour for a lot of recipes because it's a lot smoother. But you can use regular all-purpose flour, and which is generally more affordable and everywhere. And of course, also 3 tablespoons of powdered milk. Alrighty then, which is easy to store and readily available. Now, I'm not going to add this until the end. I'm going to be popping this lid on, plugging it in, and letting things go to cook. And then we'll be back. Alrighty then. See you when we get back. Hello everyone, we are back. I had to switch out shirts. And, well, back into the next phase of things. Now, the reason why this is a popular little recipe, at least with my group, is that I go out with, is because when you let it simmer for those 4 hours, the jerky, you draw out a lot of that salt, so it helps season it. And then, let's see if I can get a piece here. It's all moving around in there. And because I'm using, looks really good, peppered, it is well seasoned, highly peppered. Now, by simmering it for the long period of time, it helps soften it. It doesn't get like super tender like if you went to, you know, a really nice restaurant. But it does soften a lot. So if you need that protein and you need an extra way of getting that protein in, spreading it out a little, it is an additional option, especially if you have the time to stop and cook. And in this particular case, the recipe for 4 would be a 10-ounce bag, which is, you know, fairly common. So, dry ingredients. There is, of course, the flour and the powdered milk. And I'm going to be mixing it on in. And that will actually help thicken it up quite a bit. Now, like I said, it's about a tablespoon per. They will partly clump. I'm getting some clumps of the flour at least. Milk goes right in. You got to stir it until it creates like little dumplings if you don't. So you just got to vigorously stir. Be careful, because I ended up just spilling some. But yeah, it is basically an option, as you know, you're out. You don't got very many options, and you want a way to make any sort of flour base you got out with you. Now, it works best if you break up some like hard crisp bread into like breadcrumbs, or just break it into pieces. That works a lot better than flour, because the flour does try to clump a lot. I know you can't really see, it's just where I got the camera set up. I got a bowl here, and I'll show you the finished product as we get to some channel news when I mix this all up. Let's see, get some of that creamy broth. That ain't gonna happen until I break some of these clumps up. I don't really have a spoon for mixing this. Well, there's going to be IRL videos every weekend from now on. Game videos will be in mostly daily as well. And I had to rush to get the rabbits back in. There's a storm coming. Now, this is very tasty, especially if you take the time with it. But it takes taking that time, and it's not always an option, of course, while you're out there. The game videos, there's going to be more topic videos, of course. Yeah, this is starting to thicken and mix up very nicely. It does turn into a very nice soup. I forgot to grab a ladle. I know I did that. And it's very tasty. And it's just additional options while you're out. Wasn't expecting it to take this long to mix. A little bit more vigorous with it. Well, so I'm going to have to hop back because I got to go grab a ladle. I completely forgot. My apologies, everyone. Alright, and finish mixing this on up. That's, some of the channel news. There's also other IRL videos coming. There's the topic videos and whatnot. Already got some up, and I'll be right back. Hello. Alright, we're back, and it is finished. Now, there's a couple small clumps left. That took a little bit longer. It didn't take long after I shut off the recording. And let's try to get that milky broth. Keep everything mixed. This is meant to be split between 2, but will comfortably do 3. If you're serving with some bread, but this is meant to spread the calories. You don't got a lot of flour to make a ton of bread. I like a lot of broth whenever I do this. Alright. Ooh, that is very hot. I don't know if you can see it. Let me back it up. More milky color. It is very... Yeah. Now, you can add more flour to make it more like a stew. But then you really want to do it early on. And start by making a slurry with the flour. Now, it does... Well, after we're done... Very tasty. Oh, the cat's up and about. Very hot. Now, after we're done taking our jerked meat there, we will follow up with dessert. Reach on in here with our hands and cup ourselves some nuts. Alrighty then. Hi, Missy. You'll be allowed some leftovers, as usual. I always make sure there's a little bit of leftover just for the cat. Mostly because I don't want the eventual retaliation. Alrighty then. Now I need to rush things on. This is the end of the video. Has a very creamy taste. I did it in a soup fashion, so it's still very liquidy. By just the heavy seasoning and the added powdered milk, which a lot of people tend to store up for emergencies as well. It does take away a lot of the raw flour smell, especially if you give it time to simmer even longer. And just depends on how long you have. This minimum, you can get away with like 2 hours of simmering, but for the most part, I consider the minimum to be 4. If you got the fire going, you can do that. If you got a generator going, you can do that as well. Now, and it's just a way to spread the calories. You have, of course, doesn't take much flour, right around about a tablespoon or 3/4 tablespoon, maybe even half a tablespoon, but it'll be real soupy then, and even more so than what I currently make, which has a sort of consistency of like a bone broth. Very nice, thin bone broth, very nice. And, well, in emergencies, you can spread the calories out. Recipe I use is meant for 4. It's easier you can spread it to 6 or even 8 if you had to. But it's really meant for 4. And it's very popular with the group whenever I go out camping and that, because once we find our place to set up shop, got things going. All right. This has been dragging on. I'm starting to ramble. So, this will be uploaded some point this weekend with another video, a topic video, which will be me playing a game while I discuss a topic. There will be other IRL videos. I primarily use these cooking videos as just chance to chat. Feel free to subscribe if so inclined, like if you like. If you want to give it a try, you can modify it in a variety of ways. Stick some vegetables in it if you have it. And it takes such a long time to cook. If you soak some beans overnight, that you can easily put some beans in it as well. Really put it over the top. And jerky has a lot of salt in it, so as previously stated, so you don't really need to add salt. Get the really heavily peppered jerky, then you don't have to add any seasoning whatsoever. I'm going to get to, there's someone in the background waiting for dinner behind the camera. So, yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I appreciate anything, positive or negative. Alrighty then. See everyone around.